Coming up on Jersey Sports Zone, Johnny Biceps Buchanan flexes his muscle in St. John Vianney's big showdown at RBC. Plus, future Penn State Nittany Lion Justin Shorter shows his ludicrous speed once again as South Brunswick steps up on the road.
This is Alex Lorenzo, a Paramus Catholic. The Ironmen of Don Bosco Prep paying a visit to the Paladins as both teams were in desperate need of a win on Friday night. Find out how this Super North showdown ends in dramatic fashion. Coming up on Jersey Sports Zone.
Reporting from Montgomery High School, I'm Courtney DuPont, where the Montgomery Cougars just took on the Phillipsburg Stateliners. At the half, Montgomery was hanging on 14-9, but it was Sean Morrow and Joe Kowalczyk who came up big in the second half on the defensive side of the ball. Highlights coming up on Jersey Sports Zone.
This is Nary Rodriguez and Ewing, where the Blue Devils come alive in the second half to take down Hamilton West in a Valley Conference matchup. And the Lenape Indians put on a show against Hopewell Valley thanks to JoJo Kellum. All that coming up on Jersey Sports Zone.
I'm Mike Frankel in West Deptford, where Week 7 matchups in South Jersey don't get much bigger than this. Two undefeated arch rivals going head-to-head as West Deptford takes on Haddonfield. We'll have all the highlights for you coming up in just a bit on JerseySportsZone.com.
It is Week 7 of high school football in New Jersey, and Jersey Sports Zone is going to bring you all around the state with more fantastic high school football action. I'm Rich Crampanis. Thanks so much for checking out our Friday Week 7 highlight show. So many great games to show you. We're going to get started right here in Red Bank, New Jersey, the Shore Conference Game of the Year. 6-0 St. John Vianney at 6-0 RBC. The two superpowers start off our Week 7 coverage. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of St. John Vianney is being brought to you by BCB Bayshore, your community bank. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of St. John Vianney is brought to you by Paver Restoration. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of RBC football is being brought to you by the Two River Times. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Red Bank Catholic is brought to you by Pliables of Red Bank. St. John Vianney on a 35-game win streak in Shore Conference play, yet Johnny Buchanan and company felt like they were the underdog against the always tough RBC Casey's. On the opening drive of the game, St. John Vianney marches 11 plays, 67 yards, capped off by Buchanan from 4 yards out. The Lancers strike first. It's 7-0 SJV. And Johnny Buchanan, the future Delaware Fighting Blue Hen, showed that he's one of the best two-way players in the state. Here on defense, Steve Lubisher. Look at Buchanan up and over with the big smack right there. And Buchanan was just getting started. Here, he takes the give from Zeke Daniels, and see you later. Johnny Buchanan, 44 yards on the touchdown run. 2 TDs in the first quarter. It's 14-0 St. John Vianney. Now, RBC gets back into this game. I thought this play was big. Ryan O'Hara on the last play of the first quarter. This is down at the 1. RBC starts winning the field position battle. And now it's time for the Caseys to get going in the second quarter. Big storyline in this game. Zach Baer, one of the best running backs in the Shore. He gets a first down run here, but he would leave the game shortly after this with an injured foot. He did not return. So RBC without one of their biggest weapons. Here's the Caseys getting on the board. Ryan O'Hara, good to go from 33 yards out. We got a 14-3 ball game. Then it's Steve Lubisher with the pass to Brandon Lombana. Great run after the catch here. Lombana had 7 catches for 116 yards. And it would set the stage for RBC's first TD of the game. Lubisher to Kevin Bauman, the sophomore tight end, D1 prospect. We got a 14-10 game at the half. RBC student section, what a wonderful gesture, wearing purple for RFH as the Bulldogs had that tragic death earlier in the week. Great job by RBC. Good to see the Shore Conference unite during tough times. Second half, Nick Denseski. He makes highlights all the time on the zone. What a quarterback sack right there. But Lubisher is able to make another big play here. He fires to Brandon Lombana out of bounds at the 5-yard line. and the Caseys are ready to take the lead. It's Lubisher to Bauman, second TD of the game. Kevin Bauman had 2 4-yard touchdown catches. Red Bank Catholic takes a 17-14 lead. But St. John Vianney did not panic. Hazik Daniels is on the move. This is a 17-yard touchdown. It's now a 21-17 St. John Vianney lead. And then it's time for the Lancers defense to step up. That's Buchanan with a huge hit on Billy Guidetti on the screen pass. And then Nick Denseski in pursuit. 3 quarterback sacks for Nick Denseski. He is all fired up. Denseski and the St. John Vianney defense is able to set the stage for the big knockout punch. Here is Zaire Sterling. So dangerous. 49 yards for Zaire Sterling. He weaves his way into the zone. St. John Vianney goes up 11, 28-17, and Lancer Nation loves it. Still time for RBC to get back. Just under 7 minutes to go. It's Bauman with another huge catch. He's knocked out of bounds at the 22-yard line. But St. John Vianney's defense, bend but don't break. This play was critical. Lubisher on 3rd and long. Looks like he's going to get a first down, but watch Johnny Buchanan with the shoestring tackle. Instead of a first down, maybe a touchdown. It's 4th and 4. And guess who makes the big play? That's right, 21, Johnny Buchanan. That staff at Delaware is ecstatic to sign this young man coming up on National Signing Day. Johnny Buchanan really did it all in this game. Right after that interception, up 11 in the 4th quarter, here's Buchanan with another monster run. Johnny Buchanan tops the 200-yard mark, and all that was left was for one more score, and they go back to the dangerous Zaire Sterling, his 2nd touchdown run of the game. And the St. John Vianney Lancers have now won 36 straight games in Shore Conference play. That was one impressive win by Coach Derek Sininsky's team. 35-17 is your final. St. John Vianney is now 7-0 on the season. Buchanan runs for 231 yards and 2 scores. Nick Denseski was once again a disruptive force on the defensive line. St. John Vianney came into this game not ranked in the top 20 in the statewide polls. That will change. And the Lancers continue to show that they are the best when it comes to Shore Conference football. After the game, we caught up with Johnny Buchanan, who still had plenty of pep in his step after shining on offense and defense.
It's a great feeling, and actually I'm fully energized. You know, after a win like that, so much energy and so many emotions running through, and you know, I was just playing the game I love. That's it. We were the underdog coming in, and that gave us a lot of motivation to come out and just be able to play our football and play hard.
This week in practice, that's all I was thinking about. Every day I was studying. When I got home, late nights studying those offensive tackles, their moves, you know, every little technique that they have. You know, we all put the work in for this.
Let's go to Paramus Catholic. The Paladins hosting Don Bosco Prep. Both teams coming into Week 7 with 2-4 records and in desperate need of a victory under the Friday night lights. This was one of the best games in the state, and we've got the thrilling finish for you. Opening drive of the game, it's Shelton Applewhite to his great tight end, Henry Pearson. Look at how hard it is to bring Pearson down. That's a 14-yard gain deep into Don Bosco territory, and it would lead to this. Xavier Briggs DeVore, he stretches across the goal line, 4-yard scoring play. It's 7-0 Paladins. Later in the first, Paramus Catholic driving again. Applewhite's pass tipped and picked off by Kevin Brennan. The Navy commit comes up with the turnover, and the Ironmen take over. And get ready to see one of the best sophomores in America. This is Jalen Berger out of the Wildcat. Look at that cutback move. Jalen Berger is gone, 69 yards. We're tied at 7 at the half. Let's move on to the 3rd quarter now, where Berger was back at it again. Jalen Berger, that Wildcat's working for Don Bosco. Later, 78 yards for Jalen Berger. That's 2 long touchdown runs. Don Bosco has a 14-7 lead. So now Paramus Catholic needs to come up with an answer. And it's Applewhite to Muhammad Toure. He spins his way down to the Don Bosco 22-yard line. Great job of getting those extra yards after the catch. But this drive comes to a halt thanks to the dangerous Marcellus Erlington. That's a big quarterback sack. PC turns it over on downs, but the Paladins would get a clutch defensive play of their own. Henry Pearson with the big stick right there. Pearson doing a good job of playing two-way football. We're in the fourth quarter. The Paladins down by 7, under 3 minutes to go. Applewhite to Mohamed Toure for 12 yards. Move the chains. And then it's Applewhite going to throw the slant to Robbie Gomez. Another first down. The Paladins are now deep in Don Bosco territory with 2 minutes to go. Xavier Briggs DeBoer caps off the drive. 5-yard touchdown with 1:25 to go. We've got a 14-14 ball game. Time for Don Bosco to try and win it in regulation. As we see Jaquil Batts to Christian Dramel. Look at that catch by Dramel down to the 25-yard line. And then it's going to be Betts with the give to Jalen Berger. Berger gets it down to the 18. They call a timeout. The Ironmen are at the 18-yard line. Brandon Marrero's going to have a chance to win it. But Marrero's kick, plenty deep, but just wide left. We're going to overtime, tied at 14. We've seen Jalen Berger run for TDs. We're going to see some serious versatility here in the overtime session. It's Berger from the Wildcat. No, look, he's throwing it. Touchdown to Kieran Reynolds, 25 yards. It's 21-14. And now Paramus Catholic gets their turn in overtime. This is Briggs DeVore on the run, nothing doing. Jason Haber with a big tackle for loss. And it's Paramus Catholic facing adversity, needing a touchdown for double overtime. Applewhite to Andy Ambroise. And look at this effort from Ambroise. He won't be denied. Wow, 14-yard touchdown. It's 21-20. Now the Paladins were thinking double OT, but an illegal substitution call on Don Bosco moves it to the 1.5. So now Coach Dan Sabella says, let's go for the win. Gutsy call, does it pay off? Briggs DeVore, he gets it past the plane before he loses the handle, and the officials are going to put those 2 points on the board, and Paramus Catholic wins it in thrilling fashion. Xavier Briggs DeVore with the 2-point conversion, 22-21. How about that finish in Paramus? You see the celebration as Paramus Catholic gets the win over Don Bosco Prep. What a fantastic football game. A huge win to say the least for Paramus Catholic. The Paladins move to 3-4 on the season, and they get ready for a huge game with St. Joe's Montvale next week. Paramus Catholic has faced adversity on and off the field. It's been well documented in the press, but this team was able to come together and pull off one fantastic victory. Our Alex Lorenzo was there and gets the post-game reaction as Paramus Catholic tops Don Bosco 22-21 in OT.
Thanks a lot, Rich. I'm not sure there was any team in the state that needed to win more than Paramus Catholic. It had been a month since the Paladins' last W, but Coach Dan Sabella's team never quit, getting a season-changing win tonight against Don Bosco. And after the game, I caught up with Coach Sabella and the victorious Paramus Catholic Paladins.
Now, the penalty changed it. You know, when they had the penalty for the substitution penalty, You know, you got a chance to win it on one play, and you know, you got to believe in your guys. I think it gives us confidence. I think it builds everybody's morale, and there's a lot to play for. You know, there's still a lot out there to be had, and who's playing their best ball come playoff time is the team that's going to take it the farthest. So, you know, hopefully that's us. This is definitely something to feel good about. We needed it.
It was a big one tonight. You know, we've been preparing all week. We was fighting hard all week. We was real tough, hard practices, and we got it done tonight. Overtime came, they scored, and offense, we had to answer right back. It was a broken play, rolled out to the right, and my receiver was right there.
On that two-point conversion, I was just telling Coach Sabella we can do it. Like, I know my men, we're just going to push through it. We're gonna get it, especially with that penalty there. That was the icing on the cake. We knew for sure that we were going to be able to do it then.
Reporting for Jersey Sports Zone, I'm Alex Lorenzo.
Let's go to Sayreville. The Bomber fans all riled up in this GMC Red Division showdown. The Bombers in South Brunswick tied at 7 at the half. Two D1 prospects. That's Elijah Clark in the blue going to Temple against future Penn State Nittany Lion Justin Shorter. And this is Shorter with his first taste in the second half. A great first down grab down to the 19. And 2 plays later, this is a spot Shorter doesn't usually line up in. Justin Shorter at quarterback. He can spin it? Yes, he can. Abidi Hussein for 17 yards. Look at that versatility. 14-7 South Brunswick, 5:42 to go in the third. Shorter can throw it, Shorter can catch it, and he can play some serious defense as well. Here he blows up the screen pass with a big takedown. Shorter fired up with the big D right there. So we go to the fourth quarter now, and the fireworks begin. This is Zoriel Wright on the handoff, and look at Wright run with the football. 35 yards, takes that big hit, and on the next play, the Bombers cash in. Connor Holmes, he goes in virtually untouched. 30-yard touchdown. And we're tied up at 14 apiece. South Brunswick gets the ball back. And the Sayreville defense looking to make a play. Felix Quinones looks downfield. He sees nothing. Colton Redding comes in and drops the hammer. That's a 15-yard penalty. A serious tone setter, though, for that Bombers defense. Mark Whitford scans the field. He's looking for Cameron Davis over the middle. Nice grab right there for 16. We got 7:22 to go in the fourth, and Sayreville is on the move. Elijah Clark lined up at wide receiver, but Mark Whitford steps back and throws downfield. That's Quinones who's right underneath it. Felix Quinones with the INT. He's down at the 44. That's a critical play. And on the next play from scrimmage, the Vikings are going to break this game open. Quinones with a little play action, and he finds Justin Shorter flying downfield, and we call that ludicrous speed here at Jersey Sports Zone. 56 yards for Justin Shorter. It's 20-14. You can see why Shorter is one of the best wide receiver prospects in America. 3 and out for Sayreville on the next drive. The botch snap on the punt doesn't help the field position. Sean Goldsmith falls on it, recovers the fumble. South Brunswick's going to take over the 28-yard line. And on the next play, Quinones with the give to Jalen Lawson. The jet sweep. Look at that great block out front by Shorter. Lawson from 28 yards out. It's 27-14. The South Brunswick lead is now 13 with 3:42 to go in the football game. The next drive for Sayreville. They need to move quickly, but Darren Seaver sniffs this one out. Good presence right there for the INT, and that would all but seal the deal in Sayreville. And the South Brunswick Vikings come out with a big 27-14 win on the road. Justin Shorter, as you saw in the highlights, did it all. 17-yard TD pass, 56-yard catch for a score, and he played fantastic defense. South Brunswick is now 5-1 on the season. They've got a road date next week in the Shore Conference at Brick Memorial. After the game, our Jay Cook caught up with the future Penn State Nittany Lion Justin Shorter and the head coach about how big a win this was for the South Brunswick program.
I try to stay focused all the time, just like focus, so that way whenever I have my chance to make my play, I can make it. Team effort the whole week. We're all just working hard
on the field, just like practicing hard, working hard, and then it like all showed tonight on the field. So it was a great like team job by us.
Huge win, and I said it to the players in our 6 years here. This is a bigger win as we've had against a really good team. I think the defense set the tone for us tonight. They kept us in everything right through the game. Justin and Felix hooked up again to give us that one-score lead. Jalen came back, popped the second one in, and our defense held them off. Great win. I'm very proud of these guys.
Let's head over to Rahway. We get a look at one of the top junior prospects in the country. That's Antonio Alfano. He's got offers from every big-time college football program. And the Rahway offense steps up right out of the gate. Deshaun Moore bounces to the outside, good for 16 yards. And Rahway was really able to establish a ground presence. It's Deshaun Moore again, splits the guards, rumbling down. He takes a big hit right there, not before picking up 28 yards. And on the next play, the Indians get on the scoreboard. Zion Pendleton steps in to spell. He makes the most of it. Pendleton keeps his balance, gets past 3 defenders. 58 seconds into the game, 7-0 Rahway. As for Mr. Alfano, he is the real deal. He's able to shed the block here, comes in hot for the stop. Good first defensive play for Alfano. But the Raiders start to put a drive together. Cooper Heisey has the most passing yards in New Jersey. He finds Isaiah Stewart for a big first down gain into the red zone, down at the 9-yard line. And Heisey's going to go back to Isaiah Stewart. Cooper Heisey throws a nice ball right there. That's an 8-yard touchdown, 6-minute, 75-yard drive. Scotchwood takes an 8-7 lead after a 2-point conversion. But Rahway did not need to panic because Moore gets the call again. He maneuvers for 27 yards. He puts Rahway in great position as the drive continues in the second quarter. Some penalties would push Rahway back, but no worries because Moore does his thing again. On 2nd and 15, he's in the zone from 16 yards out. 14-8, the Indians take the lead. Scotch Plains would take over at their own 30, but the Indians' defense steps up. Alfano opens up the opportunities. Jaimir Anderson gets in for the sack with a little help from Alfano. That's a 7-yard loss. So Rahway would get the ball back after a 3-and-out, and it's Zion Pendleton time again. Look at him go 28 yards down to the 31-yard line. And once again, Rahway is in striking distance again. Pendleton does the heavy lifting on this drive, and he gets a chance to get into the end zone. Pendleton, from 5 yards out, makes it 21-8 Rahway. And the Rahway Indians go on to a 64-24 win over Scotch Plains-Fanwood. Zion Pendleton runs for 152 yards and 3 touchdowns. Deshaun Moore with 156 yards and 2 scores of his own. And we got a good look at Antonio Alfano. We are excited to show some of the future stars of college football here on Jersey Sports Zone. He's a junior, so we'll get to see him next year as well. It's Rahway winning by 40 at home over Scotch Plains-Fanwood. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Phillipsburg is being brought to you by the Garnet Booster Club. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Montgomery High School is being brought to you by Princeton Orthopedic Associates.
Thanks, Rich. This was an unusual one, especially for the Stateliners. Phillipsburg still undefeated coming into tonight's game, while Montgomery 1-5 at this point in the season. With a hot start in the first quarter, Phillipsburg was kept on their toes. And here we go, opening kickoff from Montgomery gets to number 28 of Phillipsburg, Stephen Davis. He gets going, finds a gap there, then shoots past a couple defenders with some wiggle room, but he's finally brought down around the 35, and Phillipsburg will pick up the first down from there. Next play, number 10, Jack Staggart finds Davis once again. Looks like he's going to take this one all the way, but he's dragged down by number 43, Will Keller, at the 2-yard line. Keeping it moving and wasting no time, Jack Staggart with the QB keeper takes it into the end zone himself. A 2-yard touchdown with just 3 plays. Peaburg is up 7-0. Looks like it's going to be a long night for Montgomery. But the Cougars do make something of their first drive as well and put up 3 with this field goal by Chandler Turner. 7-3 Peaburg with 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Peaburg with a quick 3 and out, and Montgomery gets the ball back. They get down to the Phillipsburg 40 when Sean Morrow flies in with the blitz and he tackles Ryan Ferry for a loss of 2, bringing up a Montgomery 4th down. Midway through the second quarter now, Montgomery gets the ball down to the Phillipsburg 4, handoff to running back Reese Clark, and that's a Montgomery touchdown. 6 minutes left in the half, and Montgomery takes the lead over Peaburg 9-7. But the young QB staggered, keeping it calm. In his last drive of the half, he finds number 13, Ray Paremba. Paremba stretches into the end zone and gets the touchdown for Peaburg before the half ends to take the lead back over the Cougars, 14-9 Stateliners. Second half, Montgomery opening drive, but here comes that blitz again. Combo of Zach Leone and Jaleel Boothman for the sack forces a Montgomery 4th. But Peaburg would go 3 and out again, and Montgomery with the ball back. Here comes the other Boothman brother, number 52, Jalen Boothman. Furry looks for options, but it's another Peaburg sack with 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Winding down the third quarter, Peaburg says, yeah, it's time to start scoring again. Who do they go to? That's right, number 30, Mean Joe Green. He's in for a 10-yard touchdown, makes it 21-9 Phillipsburg with 2 minutes left in the quarter. 30 seconds left in the third quarter, and Montgomery with the ball once again. Furry drops back, launches up a deep one to number 15, Ryan Cashman, who catches the ball and in a dead sprint outruns those Phillipsburg defenders for an 85-yard touchdown pass. Cougars right back in this one with the score now 21-16 Peaburg. 18 seconds left in the third quarter, and Jack Staggert hands the ball off to Mean Joe Green. And he just does his thing, finds the gap wide open and shoots down the left side of the field into the end zone for a 60-yard touchdown run, going into the fourth quarter now with Peaburg up 27-16. And the fourth quarter is all Peaburg all the time. We got a handoff to Joe Green for an 11-yard touchdown, and that's followed up by this beautiful defensive display. Furry looking for Kopecky, but it's intercepted for a pick 6 by junior outside linebacker Joe Kowalczyk. He goes 29 yards into the end zone, and that would make the final score 41-16. Phillipsburg now improves to 6-0 going into their game next week against the also undefeated North Hunterdon Lions. Well, it was a bumpy start, but here are the numbers. Joe Green comes up with 3 touchdowns, 199 rushing yards, Staggert with 152 passing yards and 1 passing touchdown, and Sean Morrow with 3 sacks on the night. After the game, I caught up with Coach Duffy, Morrow, and Kowalczyk to see what the defense has planned next week for those North Hunterdon Lions.
It's just something amazing, like being a part of this team and being able to, do something for them. It feels amazing. So basically what happened for the first play before that, I actually tipped the ball, so I was kind of angry, and then I kept trying to cover the deep curl, and so basically I saw him coming down, and I ran out to him, and right when I turned to my left, I saw the ball coming to me, so I just put my arms out, caught it, and then there was open grass, so I just ran.
Well, we've worked on that all week in practice, so I mean, when Coach put that in, I was happy. I was coming in off the blitz, and I knew we were going to get back there and get sacks. We kind of came out a little flat from the beginning, but I mean, we picked it up in the locker room. We came out stronger and held them to less yards, but less big games, and I mean, we did our job.
We just got off to a slow start, and we've continued to do that throughout the year, and we just got to put 4 quarters together. I'm happy the way we responded in the second half, and especially the fourth quarter. But moving forward, we got to be able to put 4 quarters together. So that's definitely going to be the point of emphasis this week at practice. Just getting better. It's a large magnitude game, and we like large magnitude games because that preps us for the big one. So we're excited. We just got to do our part and get better at the things we have to, and it starts tomorrow with the film work.
So Phillipsburg takes this one 41-16. Reporting from Montgomery High School, I'm Courtney DuPont, and you're watching Jersey Sports Zone.
Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Hamilton West and Ewing is being brought to you by Princeton Orthopedic Associates.
Thanks, Rich. The first half between Hamilton West and Ewing was pretty conservative. The Blue Devils led by just 3 going into halftime. But coming out of the break, their defense got it going for them, and it was only a matter of time before the offense took over to help them get the W.
Hamilton West visiting Ewing. We picked this one up in the third. Hornets leading it 6-3. First Hamilton drive, trying to work out of their own end zone. Hezekiah Patterson looks for his man, but Caleb Stokes is there for some fresh cookies, and he's taking this one to the crib for 6. Ewing now leading it 10-6. Next touch for the Hornets. They get it to midfield, but there's a fumble. Blue Devils come up with another big turnover. Ewing would take it down to the red zone. And from 10 yards out, Ty Wainwright gets the hand up and stretches out for the score. Look at that extension. That's playing for keeps. They're rocking as time winds down in the third, and they would keep it going. First on this big sack on third down to force a punt, and then on this 22-yard field goal from Matt Hunkeel in the fourth to make it 20-6, Ewing. Hamilton West still fighting till the very end. Patterson puts it up, but no dice, and that would do it as the Blue Devils hang on to win it. 20-6 is your final. Ewing snaps a 4-game losing streak. They enter the game 1 spot and 1 power point behind Hamilton West in the Group 3 Central rankings. With this win, they keep their playoff hopes alive as they have 2 games remaining on the schedule. Afterwards, we caught up with the player who shifted the tides and head coach Drew Bessler on how he got his team to play lights out in the second half.
Keys to success is, guys were handling their assignments. Coaches kept coaching and players made plays. I mean, we needed guys to step up tonight and to get after it, and they did. I mean, the adjustments were, we finally played a complete game in what seems like forever. Defensively, we were swarming them the whole game. We were all over the place, and offensively, we started to click. We started to get our run game going. We started to get our alignment, moving people up front, and that proved to be the difference in the second half.
Honestly, in the weight room at halftime, Coach had us in the push-up position. We didn't want to do that again, so we had to make a difference. I'm like, I need to get one. Coach has been harping on me all season. That was my first pick. Coach, they've been harping on me for all season just to get one, and I finally got one.
Ewing will take on Princeton next. For Jersey Sports Zone, I'm Neri Rodriguez. Now let's head over to Pennington, where Lenape makes a visit to Hopewell Valley.
Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Hopewell Valley is being brought to you by Princeton Orthopedic Associates.
Friday night lights in Pennington as Hopewell Valley hosts Lenape. First possession for the Indians. Matt LaJoy hands it off to Joe Kellum, and he makes it look easy as he draws first blood in the opening minutes. Next drive, Kellum hits the "Can I have some more" button as he skates in with another TD to make it a 14-0 lead early in the first quarter. Matt LaJoy trying to get yardage with his arm this time. He airs it out, and Captain James Abbey plays swiper to come down with the interception. Bulldogs trying to get something going. Jack Demoreski throws it, and JoJo Kellum returns the favor as he gets an INT. Possession following the interception. Amory Bird hits the hole running on the counter, and he finds the end zone to make it 21-0 with a minute to go in the first quarter. Indians want to extend that lead. Matt LaJoy tosses it to Jake Topolsky, who hits the burners, and that's going to be another touchdown for Lenape in this half. And with 4 to go before the break, JoJo Kellum gets it one more time, and he bursts through the middle. He's on the turf highway headed for touchdown town, and he gets it to make it a 34-point lead. 49-7 is your final. The Indians matched their score exactly to last week's win over Seneca. Lenape bouncing back after that tough loss to Rancocas Valley a couple weeks back. With a few games remaining on the schedule, this team is going to be a problem once postseason play kicks off. And who knows, maybe they'll get another shot at the Red Devils. I don't think the fans will mind seeing that matchup. Lenape improves to 5-1. They will head to Cherokee next. Hopewell Valley still looking for that first win. They drop to 0-7 and are looking to bounce back against Northern Burlington. For Jersey Sports Zone, I'm Neri Rodriguez.
Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Middletown South is being brought to you by Prounds Windows and Doors. Jersey Sports Zone's coverage of Toms River North is being brought to you by Peak Coaching for Success. We got a pink out in Toms River. It's Toms River North hosting Middletown South. Last year, this was one of the biggest regular season games in New Jersey. A little less luster this time, but still two good teams going at it. That's Jamie Petrillo on the 19-yard fake punt, and it would set the stage for Ben Kinsella to Petrillo for 32 yards. 7-0 Middletown South on the board. And Ben Kinsella was really able to establish a great passing game. Here he finds Jake Krellin, and look at Krellin go. Krellin is an outstanding defensive player. That's where he'll play in college. But here, he picks up 52 yards on the great run after the catch. And Kinsella's airing out it again. Rolls out. He finds Chris Fleming, who's in the zone from 14 yards. 13-0 Middletown South in front. The Eagles defense able to create a turnover here. It's a fumble. Jake Krellin just burrows his way in there. He comes up with the fumble recovery. And Ben Kinsella was slinging it in Toms River. That's a beautiful ball right there. Connor Ard from 12 yards out makes it 20-0 Middletown South. And more Ben Kinsella. He threw with confidence. Here he finds Matt Tardy for a 29-yard gain. And Kinsella's going to go back to Matt Tardy. Another huge gain right here. Matt Tardy picks up 31 yards. And it was really neat to see Middletown South really attack with the pass game. That's Jake Krellin to the 6, and then how about Robbie Zega? Touchdown Middletown South. That closes out the scoring as the Eagles pick up a big win on the road. 27-0 is your final. Ben Kinsella with 4 touchdown passes. So now Coach Steve Antonucci's team gets back to the 500 mark. They've got a tough test next week with St. John Vianney, but Middletown South keeps their playoff hopes alive. The Eagles defense pitches a shutout as it's Middletown South with a 27-0 win at Toms River North.
I'm SNJ Today's Mike Frankel for JerseySportsZone.com in West Deptford for the ultimate rivalry game. 2 undefeated teams going head-to-head as the West Deptford Eagles take on the Haddonfield Bulldogs. The West Jersey Football League Colonial Division title could be on the line, as well as the #1 seed in the South Jersey Group 2 playoffs. The Haddons trail 7-0 at the half, opening possession of the second half, and Jay Foley connects with his twin brother, Johnny Foley. It's a first down for Haddonfield. Later in the drive, Jay Foley fakes the handoff and takes off himself. Foley, with room to run, makes a move and scoots in for 6. A 26-yard touchdown run for the junior quarterback. The extra point is blocked, but the Bulldogs pull within 1 at 7-6. Fourth quarter now, and the Haddons are driving again. Foley throws complete to Jack Mooney. That's good enough for a Bulldogs first down. And later in the drive, it's Foley on the quarterback keeper again. Jay Foley, a 6-yard touchdown run, his second of the night, plus a 2-point conversion gives the Haddons a 14-7 lead. The Eagles respond on their ensuing possession. Peter Oreo zips a pass to Mike Bilodeau. West Deptford picks up a first down as the Eagles look for the tying score. And on the next play, the give goes to Tyshawn Bookman, and Bookman breaks loose. The sophomore sprints 35 yards to the house. It's Bookman's second touchdown of the night. The Eagles kick an extra point. The Haddons miss a field goal as time expires, so we go to overtime. Haddonfield misses another field goal on its OT possession, so here's Bilodeau from 35 yards out for the win. And it's good. Mike Bilodeau and the Eagles celebrate a dramatic overtime victory over Haddonfield, 17-14 your final. Booker with 134 yards rushing in the ballgame. The Eagles stay perfect at 6-0. The Haddons fall to 5-1. Buena at home against Holy Spirit. The Chiefs trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Meanwhile, the Spartans can wrap up the West Jersey Football League United Division crown with a win. Spirit marching right down the field on the opening possession of the game. Josh Zamat on the quarterback keeper, and he flips into the end zone from 8 yards out. The Spartans take a very quick 6-0 lead. The Chiefs answer right back. Buna's first play from scrimmage goes for a touchdown as Chris Dowdy slices up the middle and hits pay dirt. A 20-yard touchdown run from Dowdy, and the extra point gives the Chiefs an early lead. Next Spartans possession, it's Zamat again. Josh Zamat punches it in from 4 yards out, and this one is turning into a track meet, 14-7 Holy Spirit. 4th and long for Buena on its next possession. Luke Santiago rolling to his right, buying time before he launches a pass to Jaden Roberts for the touchdown. What a play from Santiago, a 30-yard pitch and catch to Roberts as the Chiefs pull within 1. Early second quarter now, and Elijah Gray gets the call for Spirit near the goal line. Gray is in for 6, and the Spartans hang 60 points on the Chiefs. 60-33 the final. Gray rushing for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Zamat runs for 3 scores and throws for a pair of TDs. Holy Spirit is now 6-1. Buena falls to 3-4. I'm Mike Frankel for JerseySportsZone.com.
The high school football season is always a blur, and we are getting towards postseason football, and we are excited to announce that coming up on December 7th in Woodbridge, New Jersey, we will be honoring the best of the best in New Jersey high school football. To the high school coaches watching our show, keep an eye out for an email from us as we are seeking nominees for the top 10 at every position in the state, and we will honor those players along with our Plays of the Year winners coming up at our first annual Jersey Sports Zone football banquet. We are so excited to bring you an ESPYs type of feel to wrap up our high school football coverage. Coming up on Saturday, more tremendous high school football action. We're going to have that big showdown in Jersey City as St. Joe Montvale pays a visit to St. Peter's Prep. Can't wait to show you that one. For our team at JerseySportsZone.com, I'm Rich Krampanis. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on Saturday with more high school football right here on JerseySportsZone.com. Want to see highlights and features from your favorite school? Jersey Sports Zone is entirely supported by our great sponsors. Email marketing@JerseySportsZone.com to get your business in front of our loyal audience and highlights from your hometown.